Hello, everybody. Happy, happy, happy. It's Thursday, and I see we're not really live yet everywhere. So let me see what's going on. There we are. Now we're live, I think. Oh boy, computer problems, glitches, internet, you name it, but it's all good because we're here now. Hello, hello. Let's get going this morning. Let me crank up some music for us and let's get started with a beautiful day. Hello, everybody. I see you popping in here. Come in and share. It's a beautiful day. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Oh my goodness. We have Kathy Hand. Good morning. I'm sure you're on your way to work. Yeah, Kathleen, that's because it took a long time for Cuppa to start this morning. It just wasn't going. And it wasn't going on Facebook. So I'm not sure what that was all about. It was on YouTube before it was on Facebook. But you're here. Thank you all for being here. Kathy, Annie7, Charlie Coons, good morning. Kathy Hand shared it. Thank you. Tabby, good morning to you. Tammy Fisk, hello, hello. Oh, hello, Hope and Zina. Andrea Gregg, Rick and Josie, good morning. Jennifer, good morning. Oh, thank you all for being here. What a great day. It's an exciting day. I am so excited to be here with all of you. Kathleen says, most mornings it takes a while for me to get in from Facebook. I know, Kathleen, it's one of those issues that's going on and I don't understand it. So I try not to get too upset about it. The things we don't understand, it's like, okay, maybe we're just not meant to understand it right now, but we will eventually. So let's just do some heart brain to settle down the energy. And now that we've all connected and got on here on the live, we're all together now. So we can do the heart brain coherence, get this day off to an amazing start. So hand on the heart. Slow down the breathing. And add in the love. Do our I am statements this morning with gratitude. This is Thankful Thursday. I am thankful for each breath I take. I am thankful that all of you have come in this morning to be with each other and to start your day in a positive way. I am thankful that I get to meet a P in person today and be in her wonderful energy. I am thankful for my life. I am thankful for the beauty I'm surrounded by. I am thankful that the sun is up this morning. I am thankful for the journey that I'm on. I am thankful for my walk with God. And I am so thankful for each and every one of you that comes in to love on each other, to show love and support to this beautiful family that we have created. What's your I ams this morning? And yes, Kathleen, we are here. And that's what's important. That's what's important, that you made a conscious choice to be here. I made a conscious choice to be here, and it was the best decision that I have made in many, many, many years, to show up every morning and be here in the boat with all the rest of you. So let's see what your I ams are. Linda came in. Good morning, Linda. Kathy Hand says, I am grateful. I am resilient, happy, and healthy. Yes, yes. Stacy, you're here. Stacy Small Lord says, I am thankful for a new day full of possibilities. Amen. Rick says, I'm thankful for Teri and the Peas. It sounds like a music group. Thank you, Rick. I'm so grateful to know you. And Catherine Kovacs is here. Good morning. Annie Seven says, I'm thankful for waking up this morning. I'm thankful for my health. I'm thankful for my life on earth. I'm thankful for my family and their health. Thank you, Annie. Andrea says, I am hopeful, I am loved, I am peace. And Tabby says, Bo and Merlin, my fur babies, are even here. Oh, that's so awesome, Tabby. Charlie, I am thankful for this beautiful P family. Catherine, I am awake. Jennifer, I am grateful and blessed. Grace I says, good morning. I'm thankful, tranquil, all transforming and tremendous. I am peace. Yes, yes, yes. Kathleen, I am vibrating high with love and gratitude. I love it. Tabby, I am love, light, and positive healing energies. And Nimpress favor. Okay, I don't know what that is, Tabby, but thank you for sharing. All right, I'm going to pull a Kuan Yin right off because I have been focusing on manifesting this morning. I know we go through a process each week where we figure out, what do I intend? What do I want? What do I put out there as a goal? And then we set about figuring out ways and steps to do that, visualizing it. And then we just give gratitude for it already happening. And many times it does. Many times it does show up in our life. But I was listening to one of my, what I consider one of my mentors. I've never met her, but I really appreciate her energy and her knowledge and her success. And I was listening to her on YouTube this morning earlier, and she was telling something that I had never really learned before or realized before. And it was a study that came out in some popular place where they take polls and talk to people about things. And this one was on manifesting. So what my mentor was saying is the law of objectivity. So let's say you have set an intention. You know you want something. You want it so bad, whether that's a raise at work, it might be travel, it might be bringing love into your life, it might be more money, abundance, whatever it is. You have this goal and you put it out there. Now, one of the things that happens when we think about what we want, we think about what we don't have, right? Our brain immediately starts telling us that we're not worthy to have that that's not in our wheelhouse. It's not for us. And I've said this many times in my own life. Sometimes when I think about things, not really things, but like the journey and other things along that line, and I think, oh, but that's for somebody else. Somebody else deserves it more than I do. And many times that's how we sabotage our manifestation. Many times we put ourselves last instead of putting ourselves first in line to receive. So this law of objectivity says that it may be difficult to see ourselves receiving that raise, receiving that abundance, receiving whatever it is that we decided we want to intend to manifest. So think of somebody that you admire, somebody that you know has had success in manifesting. And what would they do? Years ago, there was a saying, there probably still is, but it was very popular about a decade or so ago. And it's, what would Jesus do? And it was when we were trying to improve ourselves in a spiritual way. And we went to like the highest power that we could imagine that was walking on our earth and experiencing the things we experienced. And the question became, what would Jesus do? How would he handle a situation? So when you're manifesting, setting your intention, focus on somebody that's already achieved success, somebody that has done maybe what you're trying to do or you're wanting to bring to you, somebody that has amassed the fortunes if you're intending to have more abundance, somebody that has the followings of others and the friends, somebody that has a bigger house, a bigger car, whatever it might be, somebody who has done what it is that you are setting an intention to do. And what would they do when they were faced with manifesting, when they were stepping up to the boss and saying, you know what? I deserve a raise and I want a raise, and see them doing that. Because sometimes it's difficult to see ourselves in that position. But if we look at somebody that's already done it, it's not a comparison, it's not a competition. It's saying, oh my gosh, I deserve that too. They did it. It can be done. It can be done. So you do away with your self-sabotage when you do that. You do away with indecision and inactivity and the knowingness that, oh, I don't deserve that. So you're stepping into, it can be done. It is possible. And so then you bring it to yourself. I can do that. I can do it. We've said that so many times, haven't we? When we encourage each other, you can do that. You can do it. So knowing that it can be done is huge when you're going to manifest. It's huge. If you want to be known as an author or a musician or whatever it is, a leader, a life coach, whatever it is, look at somebody who's doing it and just envision they had to do the same steps you're doing to get there. It wasn't just handed to them. So you can do it. It's the law of objectivity, taking the thought away from I and looking at somebody who's already succeeded so that you know you are them. I am you, you are me, we are all one. I can do this. Yesterday, Ruth and I did a meditation together. And we think out loud when we're doing our meditation. We speak whatever we're seeing as we are in the meditative state. So I saw in my meditation that my feet were being anointed with oils, and I could smell the oils. And Ruth immediately was, well, I want my feet anointed too. And I said, but they are. And she looked down, and yes, her feet were glistening with the oil also. What's happening to one is happening to all because we are one. So when we look at the manifestation piece, it's there. We don't have to go into any state of comparison or competition. It's just there for us. We see others that have done it. Okay, I can too. And thank you, Marietta. Jesus manifests Christ consciousness, so I can manifest Christ consciousness too. Absolutely. What would Jesus do? He would be open. He would love unconditionally. He would not judge. He would just accept. And so whatever we have seen our masters that we look up to, whatever we've seen them do, whatever we've seen successful people do, we have that ability because we're doing it. All right, we got people. Leo, good morning, good morning. Julie Kiss, I'm grateful for my health, wealth, and well-being, and so it is. Brookie, good morning. Brookie says, I'm so thankful to be here and feeling better every day. I'm so glad to hear that news. Gracie, update on Father Edwin, doing much better with his energy and outlook on life as he ushers 88 years. Thank you for the prayers, energy, love, and Reiki in the grid. Is today his birthday, Grace Isis? Is that what that means? So if it is, happy birthday to your daddy, Edwin. And good morning, Deirdre. It's okay, you're in divine time. Brookie, so grateful for all of you and all you do. Thank you, Brookie. And Oksana is with us. She says, good morning. I am dancing with my light family and angels. I am celebrating this moment with every breath I take. I am thankful with every out breath I give. Yes, yes. And Kathy Caputo says, Jesus said, these and greater things you shall do. That's right. Because we are the same and we can do the same things. We can perform miracles. We can speak to crowds. We can turn a loaf of bread into something that will feed thousands. We have all that we need inside of us. Now I'm excited to see what Kuan Yin has for us today. So let's just go to our Kuan Yin card. And it is the Radiant Moon of Compassion. Kuan Yin sits upon a radiant moon of compassion, pouring forth the spiritual strength needed for you to liberate yourself from lower vibrational energies of fear, and judgment and shift into the vibration of freedom, love, and peace where you naturally belong. You are being urged to use this power to grow spiritually and free yourself from a situation that would otherwise dim your bright spirit. Thank you, Kuan Yin, reinforcing for us. You are that radiant moon. Think of a moon that's full and bright, and it's shining light everywhere. It's lighting up the world. It's glimmering on the waters. It's illuminating the trees. It's bringing in that beautiful warmth that sometimes we think only the sun can give us, but the moon gives us warmth as well. So when we look at that moon and we think about compassion, which is what Kuan Yin is the goddess of and the master of, think of how you are compassionate. When you think of a time in your life where you showed compassion to others, just think about that. Compassion is different than patronizing. It's different than just saying, "Oh, you poor thing." It's not that's not compassion. Compassion is wanting the very best for the person or persons that you are holding in your mind, wanting the very best experience possible. It has nothing to do with judging or criticizing or looking down on. It's just wanting that oneness experience for everybody. When you hold in your heart a feeling of love, a feeling of being blessed, and you want everybody in the world to feel that same thing, that's compassion. That's wanting each person to be lifted up, up, up to a higher plane, as Marietta says. So when was the last time you showed compassion to others? I was sitting in my car yesterday. I pulled into a parking place, and all of a sudden, the car beside of me started coming alive with activity. And this young man had locked his keys in the car. And instead of calling for help with a locksmith or somebody that could open the car, he had decided that he was going to do it the old-fashioned way. He had a wire hanger, and he was diligently trying to get the door open with this wire hanger. So I'm sitting in my car. I didn't get out because I'm in an unfamiliar city, and I wasn't sure how safe it was. So I'm just sitting there with the angels and just sending them to help him. I'm like, I want him to succeed. I want him to get that car door open. And I was sending that kind of energy from my heart over to where he was and asking the angels to help get that door open for him. Because the more he worked on it, the more he was getting irritated, the more he was getting upset and frustrated, and the language started getting worse. I'm like, all right, God, let's just, can we settle down the energy by helping this young man get his door open? And people had been coming up to try to help him. And he had some friends that were giving some input to the situation. And he just kept getting more and more frustrated, and he just walked away. And I said, all right, angels, I would really love it if you would help this person. I would be so happy for him to have that resolution, to have success. And almost as soon as I sent the angels in, he came back and he was able to get the door open. And after I got out of my car, I told him, I said, I'm so glad that you succeeded in getting your car open. I know how frustrating that is. I've done it myself in the past. So I understand that frustration and that irritation. And And he had made the statement, I had heard him say, I'm upset with myself. He was upset with himself for doing something like that. It was an accident. He didn't do it on purpose, but he was taking on that energy of being a failure. So I was reinforcing to him, I'm happy for you. I'm so glad that you had success in getting that door open and in getting your energy then settled down, because he did. He was like taking an exhale of the breath. So my part was to show compassion. My part was to say, angels, I know you can help. I know that you can make this happen. And I'm asking you to go to this person. I don't know him. I don't know who he is. I don't know anything about him. But just go and help him out. And it was that wanting the very best experience for him. That's compassion. So again, I ask you, when was the last time that you just showed compassion for somebody? Maybe you weren't invested in the outcome at all. And that's a big part of what compassion is, not being invested in it, but just fully focused on that person that you're being compassionate to. Maybe you hold a door open for somebody. Maybe you buy somebody a coffee or pay for something in the grocery line, or let them ahead of you in the grocery line. There are many, many ways that we can do an act of kindness, an act of compassion. And one of those things is just what I did. Just pray for the very best experience. Send loving, positive energy, even when it's not you that's involved in the situation. You just want the best outcome. So when we think about the life that we live, and we want good things in our life, we want positive experience in our life, we turn that around and receive because we give of our energy. We give of our prayers. We do that every day here. We are compassionate in giving prayers and love toward others that we know have been put in a prayer list. They have been sent to us as our own little group of people that we pray for. And many times we don't know who those people are. It doesn't matter who they are. All that's asked of us is that we have that compassion in our heart for them to receive the very best outcome possible. Blue, where have you been? Good morning, good morning. And Grace says, it's approaching soon. This whole month is a day of birth for him. Thank you for wishes. You know, Grace says, I do the same thing when it's my birthday. It's in August. So I just count the whole month of August as my birthday and just celebrate for a month. So yes, let's celebrate your father's birthday that's approaching. Deirdre says, I don't know if this counts. When I watch shows about real life issues, I put my hand on my heart and pray that they have a positive outcome. That's exactly what I'm talking about, Deirdre. Yes, you got it. Yeah, it's wishing for the very best. And how many times in life have we wished for something to fail? You know, if we go into a competitive mode, especially, if we have a competitor, we're like, no, I want to win. So that means that you can't win. But when you're in compassion, everybody wins. You want everybody to do their very best. And one of the things that I applied this to, and that happened in my own life, I was extremely competitive in the sport of darts. I was wanting to be the very best, to be top dog, to rule it all. And there were times, before I understood, there were times when I was wishing for my competitor to not hit what they were aiming at. but to fail so that I could win. But when I turned it around and I realized, oh, if that person wins, I'm going to be very happy for them. I'd be happy if I won, but I'm going to celebrate their win just as much as I would celebrate my own win. And when I turned that around, then I stopped wishing them to fail. I wished them to succeed, because in their success, it made me stronger. It made me try harder. And sometimes life is that way. If somebody else is, quote, succeeding, if they're achieving what it is that they put their mind to and they put their intention to, and they're receiving that manifestation of it, sometimes it makes us strive harder. It makes us say, oh, they did it. I can do it too. Going right back, circling all the way back to the very beginning of the talk today about manifestation. Knowing that other people can do it gives us that insight, gives us that bit of oomph that, oh, they did it. I can do it too. So it's the law of objectivity. I want you to think about that as you are working on manifesting. You know, there's things that we have to do, like visualizing it, holding the thought about it, and doing any steps that we're guided to do toward manifesting our intention. But this step is one that hasn't been taught, and it's one that will help all of us. Just think of somebody that's already achieved it and say, I can do it too. They did it. I know I can do it. And Deirdre says, also, every time I hear a siren, I do the same. You know, our dear Auntie Jean, she's not with us yet this morning, but Auntie Jean lives very, very close to a hospital. I've been to her house. I have seen where she is in relation to that hospital. There are sirens that go off all the time. There are ambulances coming and going. So every time a siren goes off, Auntie Jean says a prayer for that person that's involved, that is going to be receiving the help that they need. So I think, Deirdre, you're spot on with that when we know what that siren means, it's a symbol that help has been called for and that help is on the way. And yes, we can wish for the very best outcome for that person. That's compassion. Thank you, Deirdre. And Abby says, I saw a man with spectrum cable working on the wires in his cherry picker. I stopped and said, thank you for all you do every day. Merry Christmas. He said, thank you. You changed my own day around. Yeah, absolutely. Back to my story of that young man that got his door open that he was striving with. I told him I was very happy that he got the door open, that he had success. So it struck up a conversation. He looked at the sign on my car and said, oh, Peace on Earth tour, you know, and we talked about it a bit, and I told him what it was all about, and he was blown away. He lives here locally in Mississippi. And he goes, I want to get involved. How do I do that? Do you have any information? And so I gave him a gratitude card, of course, and sent him to the website so he could know more about the journey and how he could get more involved with it. So we never know whose life we're going to touch. We never know who might be ready to be that next person to do something like what we're showing can be done. Yes, we can make a difference in the world, and so can everybody else. It's just a matter of putting out that energy and sometimes stepping up and speaking up. Good morning, Joanne Castillo. Thank you for being with us. It is our prayer time. So if you want to put some prayers into the list, if they're not already on the list, type them in the comments and I'll definitely add them in. Brookie, good morning, Jean. Yes, Blue, you're missed when you're not here. Leo says, I was upset with myself the other night at the dollar store. I'm always so distracted in my own world with my headphones on that I didn't notice that someone held the door open for me. When I got to the cashier, it was the same person who opened the door for me, and he called me out for not showing gratitude. And out of impulse, I was even ruder in my response. I was so ashamed of myself. I went back to apologize, but he wasn't there. It was a wake-up call for compassion. Yes. Leo, I know that that's not you. I know that sometimes we do get wrapped up in distraction, but I know how loving and compassionate you truly are. So just, that's the past. It's done. Forgive, forget, and move along. And maybe the next time you'll be more observant. I think it was a wake-up call, like you said. It was just a message for everyone to pay more attention. This time of year especially, so many are struggling. So when we pay more attention to what is going on around us in our physical world, we can show more compassion to each other and receive that compassionate act right back to us. And Blue says, a big log truck just came up the driveway. Glenn is bringing us a beautiful log load of wood for next winter's wood. It's nice to have such good friends. Oh, I am so grateful to Glenn. Please say thank you from Mama P, because I love it when some of the P's are taken care of and just receiving miracles. So thank you to Glenn. And Deirdre says, Leo, human nature is a work in progress. Go easy on yourself. Yeah. And Brookie says, a nice reminder to be present for each moment. Lesson learned. It seems we need reminded again and again sometimes. Much love, Leo. Thank you for sharing. Yes, thank you indeed for sharing that. All right, let's go into our prayer time. I just love that we lift each other up every day. I love that this is the way I start my day. I love that we are all so open to give of ourselves and to receive. If there's something that's needed in your life, please let us know. If there's something that you're struggling with, put yourself in that prayer circle. If there's something that you are worried about, concerned about, something that's going on in your life presently, put yourself in that prayer circle. And if it's something that you're worried about might happen, might possibly happen, I encourage you to stay present in the moment, to put fear in its place by substituting in love, and to allow yourself to stay in the possibility of what can be instead of going to a low vibration, just like what Kuan Yin said. I'm going to reread the card for today. Kuan Yin sits upon a radiant moon of compassion, pouring forth the spiritual strength needed for you to liberate yourself from lower vibrational energies of fear and judgment and shift into the vibration of freedom, love, and peace where you naturally belong. You're being urged to use this power to grow spiritually and free yourself from a situation that would otherwise dim your bright spirit. So going into possibilities will keep you from the worry and the stress that hasn't happened, that may not happen. You don't know. So let's see any prayer requests that you're adding in. Stacy says, Teri saw a not so nice reaction that I had in the car, and I was so embarrassed that I forgave myself after a laugh. Yeah, it happens, Stacy. We are human. And we need to allow for that in our life experience. Blue says, please add John and Jenny to our list. John is getting ready to walk the path of light with blessings. We certainly will, Jean. We're going to add John and Jenny. Let me do that right now. Okay, that was blue. Stacy says, please add my son Joshua for extra prayers. He has influenza A and having chest pains, and pray for me to end strong since I can't be there to heal him. Yes. Joshua. Deirdre, continue prayers for you, Teri, for a whole P family, Gaia, and world peace. Of course. And yes, please pray for me. I'll be on the road again today, headed into New Orleans, and can't wait for that beautiful experience. Annie says, I'm having back pain. Thank you for all the prayers. I'm asking this morning for my friend Heather Lynn Cast for prayers and healing. And my brother-in-law, James, and my sister, Tina. James, Tina. And my brother, Cyrus, as well, and my son, Drake. You got it. And Hope says, Celeste Edwards, my niece, is back to her healthy self. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Hope, for letting us know that. And we love when we hear about the answered prayers. Annie, oh my goodness, which direction? Give me a message, send me a private message, and let's see if we can connect along the way. I would love to meet you. Okay, Linda, one of my lessons was to ask for help. I found that others were so happy to be able to help out. Often in a situation, people ask, what can I do? And actually feel it as a compliment that you ask them for help. This is so true, Linda. It's very true that when we can just do whatever we can, whether it's even just listening, help, just giving that listening ear. But if we can do something, make a grocery run, whatever it might be, that lifts up both sides. It lifts us up and it lifts them up. And Jean, the last name is Reed. Okay, so it was John and Jenny Reed. Gotcha. Okay. Annie says, I lift everyone on this prayer list and Teri and her family as well daily. Thank you, Annie. Brookie says, please pray for my parents and I. We got very sick last week, and though it seemed it would be gone by now, it's still hanging on tightly, and my parents especially. So yes, you are on our list, Brookie, and I'm going to add your whole family. Where am I? Tabby says, a witch is really struggling to provide her family with her husband and a Christmas for their 10-year-old son. I pray they have an awesome Christmas and she remembers the true meaning of the season. Yes, yes, Tabby. If you can remember the name, please tell it to us so we can put it on our list. Thank you, Stacy. And oh, thank you, Annie. I appreciate that. Rosalind, good morning. Thank you for the travel blessings. Oksana says, I am praying for all of us in our beautiful hearts that keep on shining. When you realize earth and heart has the same spelling, it all makes sense. By Jennifer Bramley. Thank you. Yes, I really wanted to meet you, Oksana, as I was coming out of Florida, but that is left for another time, I suppose. I love meeting the P's. If I'm coming into where you are, I would love it even if we just stop and say hello. We don't have to spend any time at all together unless you want to. But I love just seeing your beautiful energy in person. Tabby says the Midwest states are or were hammered by storms and tornadoes. Yes, they were. And Blue says, Billy Joe is fine now and recovered from COVID. She is on the list. Yes, she is. So I will put a check mark by her name when I get to her. Okay, let's do the list. Thank you all for adding to the list today. Thank you for being that compassionate soul that lifts others up. So remember that each name has an energy to it. Each name is so important to our Creator. And that's what we're doing. We're lifting each name up right to the Creator. So just envision that. As I speak the name, then please just add them in your mind's eye, going up to the Creator. And I got that name, Tabby. Thank you. All right. So we are lifting our India family, Pracheta, Prachir, Navriti, my sister Billy and her husband Tim, Sheila and her sons, Gary, James, Loretta, Joanne Castillo, Erica Hoppy, Dania, Suzanne and her family, her sister Karina, her daughters Jillian and Jackie, and Jessa, her granddaughter, Marietta and Ed, Leo and your family, Lakshmi, DJ Blaze, Rick Morrow and Josie, Meg and Jim Lorio, Auntie Jean and Ron Lorio, Catherine and her family and her fur babies, Mary Jane, Pam and Gordy, Rosalind Good Vibes, Sally and Tony, Christina and her family, Kathy Hand and her family, Pat Moss and her daughter and her grandchildren, Olivia and Tom, and her sister Susan, Becky, Charlie and family, Hope and Zena, Andrea Gregg, Deirdre, Annie Seven, your son Grayson, and also Regina and Adam, Cassandra, Destiny Ortega, Gail Zimmerman and Nick, Jennifer and Micah, and your brothers Chuck and Ken, Oksana, for you, Amber, your mom, Jenna, Maximus and Katia, Isabel and Paul, and their daughters Inesh and Teresa, Linda Lemieux and Dick and your sons, Stacy and Josh, and all of your family, and especially prayers for Joshua today with his illness, Blue and your husband Dave, and all of your fur babies, Karen Palmer, her father Frankie, her husband and her daughter, Grace Isis, your father Edwin, and celebrating his birthday with him, Kathy Caputo, for your eye and any other physical illness, Raymond, Tina Carzo, Tracy, Luz, and her sister, and her friend Christine Lewis, Jebby, Jim and his son, Ryan, Catherine, Eric, John, Tatiana, Jackie, and baby Eris, Brookie, and your entire family, and healing prayers for all of you, the Girardi family, Jeanette and Ernie, Dawson, Winston G. Campbell, Sean, Angel and her husband Derek, Lily in Norway and all of her family, Stacy's mom Karen, Catherine, baby Wyatt, baby Haven, Darren Walker, Arthur Thompson, Elena, Abby, Bill, Kelly, Jasmine and her daughters Anya, Myra, and her mom Ronnie, Alba, Mary Lou Burdick, Kathy Hand's friends, Patty and Sonia, Kim Blood and her sister Chris, Kathy's co-workers, Deirdre's sister Steph and brother-in-law Bob, Edwin, Joni, Adriel, Corinne, Tiago, Tony and her husband, Tam in Utah, Vicky, Ken, Dottie and Don, Ruth, Stephen, Tammy Fisk and her daughter, and she asked for extra prayers for her daughter, Michelle, Bo and Candy Hand, Billy's kids, Brittany Kiss, Crystal Nobles and Dean and their two boys, Gabriel and Jacob, and Brody the dog, Herb, Rochelle and her mom, Rose, Bob Rice and his wife, Joanne, Soma, Julia Osborne, the Deerfield Valley in Vermont, Sharon Rhea, Karen and family, Eric Turner, Mira Rubin, Nick and family, our Kenya family, Jean, Cynthia, Helena, and Edwina, and the nieces and nephews, animals, and fur kids. Lulu the kitty, Sherry Gatewood and her brother-in-law, Padama, Tammy Hill and family, Phil B., Lynn Gallagher, Antonio Papa, Elaine Armstrong, Danya Navarro, Wendy in Florida, Wendy in the UK, Terry Wilderman and her family, Monsi's daughter, who had surgery yesterday, and I think it went well. I had a text from her. Freddie, Abha, Mary Crincoli's friends, J.H., Mike S., and John, Irene and Eduardo, Eddie Quills, Jose, Michael Murdoch, Jessica, Fidel, Kim, Camille and Nick, Kathy and Raymond, Lynn, Frank, Albie, Viola, Kenneth, Bobby, Max's teacher, Mansi, Kamal, Maddie, Akil and the orphans in Pakistan, Noel, Heaven and Son, Yuri, Audie, and Audie's doing much better, Scott, Jim, Stacy, that came from Stacy, Trey Horn, Julia and her husband, Dr. Beard, and I believe, Blue, you said that the doctor is doing better, but please let me know that. Jean, which is Erica's mom, who's showing improvement. Zila Goth, Marianne, Henrik and Lorraine, Mercedes, Jeannie and her sister Merle, Sharon, Letitia, Mary with pneumonia, Raven Dalek, Wayne, and then we added today John and Jenny Reed, Joshua, Heather Lynn Cast, James, Tina, Cyrus, Drake, and Alicia Burns. Okay, Tabby, I don't know the answer to that question. Thank you, Tabby. I appreciate that. All right, Akil, good morning. You're on our list of prayers that we do every day, and thank you for coming in and being with us. Blue, not that you know of. Okay, so we'll keep Dr. Beard on our list. All right, let's take a moment. I know we're running a little overtime, but let's just take a moment to give gratitude. That's what this day is all about. It's about gratitude. It's about showing compassion, showing love, which we just did. All of these names, that's a compassionate act that we all do together. So let's just give gratitude to our Creator, gratitude to the source of all being. I call it God. Use whatever name you wish. And let's just say thank you. Thank you. I love you. Thank you for seeing each prayer that was lifted, for seeing each person and answering that prayer for their best and highest good. And God, I ask that anyone who is holding an energy in their heart of feeling less than, of feeling undeserving and unworthy, I pray, God, that you put a blessing in each person's heart, a lifting up to know that we are all deserving. We are all worthy. We are all a spark of the divine. Help us to find that inside of ourselves today, that we may go forth in this day stronger. We may go forth more confident. We may go forth living on this earth plane with the thought in our mind, how we can be more compassionate, how we can be more loving, how we can be more successful in manifesting whatever our heart desires. Help us to see possibility instead of obstacles. Thank you. Thank you, God, for your love. And we're asking now for a blessing for our earth plane, for our Mama Gaia. We're asking for peace on this earth. We're asking for respect from others and to others. We're asking for the energy of love to win so that it will be a win-win for all. So God, we just ask for a little extra blessing going down into the center of Mother Gaia. We're asking for Gaia to bring that up through everything that it has to go through to come to the surface of our planet, to lift us all up, to be the very best we can be, to have the best experience as we walk on Gaia's back. And let all of that blessing include every inhabitant, everything that has energy, the mountains, the valleys, the trees, the animals, the waterways. And we thank you. We give gratitude, we give honor and glory to our Creator for everything we have and everything that is to come. And now let's give respect and love to each other by saying the magic words we say every day on the count of 3, 2, 1. Thank you. I love you. I love you all. Let's go have that beautiful day. Let's make it a day to remember. Oh, you're so welcome, Nikhil. Thank you, Marietta. So it is.
We're all friends around you, just join the fun. 'Cause if you're in a hurry, you're missing the point. Should enjoy the fruits of life instead of chasing coins.
Love you, Oksana. Thank you.
It's a beautiful day. Isn't it all? So come on, let's play.
Let's pray for each other.
Forget the rush you're in and find a good spot. Sit down and join us as we sing a good song. Keep back, relax, and just follow along.
It sure is a beautiful day as
We got
well.
plenty of time. Taking it easy won't cost you a dime. Throw another log onto the fire. Because it's a beautiful day.
Indeed it is.
And come on, let's play.
Let's pray and have an amazing experience today and manifest the way by knowing that you can. It can be done. Namaste, y'all. I'll see you later.